For the past 17 months, I've been on an incredible journey mastering the art of prompt engineering. 17 months, that's right. This places me among the top 1% prompt engineers in the world. I literally prompt every day. And so if you're looking to become an expert at getting exceptional results consistently from AI systems, then this video is for you. I'll put more emphasis on prompt engineering for AI phone callers, but the principles stand. You can leverage the same skills when prompting any AI system, whether that's ChatGPT or voice flow chatbots, AI agents, etc. So let's jump into it. So I have a presentation prepared. I call it Prompt Engineering 101, which is my promise to you is that if you're a beginner, you'll move from a beginner to a complete expert at the end of this video. If you already know basics or some surface level knowledge on prompting, you'll go from that level to the next level of mastery within no time. So first of all, what is prompt engineering? In simple terms, here's how I would define it. Prompt engineering is the process of crafting the perfect set of English instructions to guide the AI on how it should handle the conversation. That's simple. Because the thing is, AI has been trained on text data, English instructions. So how we prompt it is actually just talking to it, giving it instructions in English. So that's a good thing with building AI systems, is anyone with whatever level of skill can come into building AI systems by just knowing how to speak English. But there's two versions to prompt engineering. So there's first the basic use, when you guys just go and talk to ChatGPT telling it, I want you to create me a LinkedIn description, I want you to do the following things. Like, that's the basic use. But there's also prompt engineering for actually building AI systems. So whether that's AI chatbots, AI voice bots, AI agents, in this case, prompt engineering becomes a very critical aspect of it, because you don't have a chance to go back and forth with the AI when it makes a mistake. You build the prompt once, then deploy it. Users go and leverage the AI system. If something goes wrong, you don't have a way of going back and forth with the AI to fine tune it. And I'll touch on this after this, okay? And also, prompt engineering becomes very critical, especially when building AI phone callers, because you'll be spending 80-90% of your time on just the specific system prompt that you're building for the AI phone caller. So specifically for AI phone callers, prompt engineering comes to be a very important skill for you to have, because 95% of the time you're going to be spending on the system prompt itself. This is the instructions that are guiding the conversation with the AI. I insist on it being more critical for AI phone callers, not saying that it's not critical for other systems like AI chatbots, but it's just based on my experience. When you're building AI chatbots, prompting you'll do maybe prompting. Let's take an example for voice flow. You might be having a set AI step whose work is to craft a specific message to give back to the user. There you'll build a system prompt that needs to be able to handle it. But the thing is, there is way more that goes into building a chatbot. But compared to an AI phone caller or an AI voice bot, 95% of the time will just be spent on that specific section. When you log into your VAPI dashboard or retail AI, whatever platform you're using, you'll be spending 95% of the time on that specific section of the user interface, which is a system prompt. So why do most people suck at prompt engineering? And you might not know that you suck at it because you don't have a picture of what you're missing out when you don't have this skill. When you have this skill, you're able to consistently always get exceptional results from an AI system. But since most of the time, most people use ChatGPT or this AI chatbots for basic use cases, they don't have that incentive to become better at prompt engineering to get exceptional results. But if you actually have the skill, you're able to always consistently get way better results than 95% of people out there. So there are two ways of thinking of prompt engineering. First is the conversational prompt engineering, and there's the single shot prompt engineering. So what is the difference? Think of conversational prompt engineering like your typical ChatGPT, where you'll go to ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot and just ask it to do something for you. It will give back a response, and you'll notice maybe something was wrong within its response. You go back and tell it, oh, here I think you haven't made it right. You've made a mistake here. Kindly do this, and that. Okay. Then you send your feedback. The AI works on the feedback, gives back a response. So you can see this is conversational. We're having a back and forth. Okay. But now there's the other prompt engineering, which is single shot prompting, and this is mainly used for building AI systems for production. Okay. It's where an AI developer will take time, spend a lot of time crafting a huge paragraph, okay, it can even span pages of a single prompt that's going to guide the AI on how it should behave, on how it should give responses to the user. And in this case, once the AI system has been deployed, the developer doesn't get a chance to go back and forth with the AI, telling it when it messes something up that fix this and that. In this case, it's in the customer's hands, and the AI system needs to be reliable. So this is a single shot prompt. You have only one chance to get it right. Once you deploy it, then there is just based on customer feedback to fine-tune it. So you can see conversational is mainly operated by a human and can't be automated. For single shot prompts are mainly for automated systems that are going to be used over time and time again. So you can see conversational prompts have follow-up prompts, so you can follow up when the AI makes a mistake, giving it finer details. But with single shot prompts, there's no follow-up prompts. Therefore, conversational prompts are much more forgiving for the typical user, because they don't have that skill set to ensure it's very good every time. But for single shot prompts, there's no room for errors. You have to take and spend a lot of time fine-tuning that specific prompt, testing the AI system again and again, and you only have one chance to get it right once you deploy it. And conversational prompting is mainly good for just personal use, but for single shot prompts, it's more scalable and ideal for building AI systems. But not to say that the skills you get from single shot prompting, you can't apply it on conversational prompting. Actually, personally, in my experience, the skills I have when I'm building AI system prompts that are for scale, I leverage that to get better results when I'm talking to ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot for my personal use. So why is good prompt engineering very critical of a skill? So as we've seen, there are two versions: conversational prompting and single shot prompting. Let me touch on why it's important to have this in place, especially when you're using it for personal use. So the typical user will use ChatGPT for their daily use, whether it's crafting content on social media, whether it's responding to emails, whatever it is. Having such a skill in place makes you sort of a superhuman in a practical way. Why is that? Is you have sort of a sidekick on your side, helping you on your day-to-day life, on your daily work activities that you go through. Like, if you have the prompt engineering in place, you're able to use AI to become a mercenary on your side, helping you in every task that you do on your day-to-day activities. And this is what I'm experiencing personally in my life, because in whatever thing I do, whether it's creating content online, I leverage AI in many sectors of my life. And I'm able to do this because I've become a master at instructing the AI and getting exceptional results consistently. The thing is to get consistent results that are exceptional. Now back to building AI prompts for scalable AI systems. First of all, is it gives enhanced accuracy. A well-crafted prompt that has been thought through very well ensures that there's no AI hallucinations. Because the thing with AI is, if you have interacted with AI, you know that hallucination is a big thing. You might build your AI system for the first time and you test it, and this time is working well. But when you now test it in a different scenario, let's say this time I call the AI phone caller acting like an angry customer. If you haven't prompted the AI to handle such edge cases, then it's going to hallucinate. It's going to be saying things that are wrong as if they are right. So ensuring that you spend time crafting the prompt very well minimizes the chance of hallucinations. It ensures that you're putting guardrails in place so that the AI system is reliable 9 times out of 10. Secondly, and this is very, very critical, is you're able to get cheaper AI usage costs. Why is this? When you're poor at prompt engineering, you are forced to use more powerful AI models to consistently get exceptional results. But the thing is, the bigger the model, the more expensive it is. So bigger AI models like GPT-4, GPT-4o, GPT-o1, these powerful AI models are more expensive. Yes, they are more reliable, but they are more expensive. Well, if you're a master at prompting, you're able to leverage the cheaper models, the lightweight models, to be able to get exceptional results consistently without having to spend a fortune on the AI usage costs. And finally, being a master at prompt engineering enables you to build more scalable AI systems that are able to handle a wider range of tasks, a wider range of inquiries from the user, hence resulting in more scalable AI systems for your business. So if you're not good at prompting, you might build a prompt, and for a certain use case with a customer, it works perfectly. But when a different type of customer interacts with the AI system, then it handles it completely wrong. What you want is to build an AI system where customers of different types, whether it's an old lady or an angry customer or a guy who's working, they're able to interact with the AI system, and 99% of the times it's able to provide relevant responses without hallucinating. If you're not good at prompting, you'll spend that short time building a small prompt. Then when you test it out with your small set of customers, it's working perfectly. But the thing is, now when you bump up, let's say, your marketing, and now you're getting customers of all kinds, the AI system starts to break, starts to hallucinate, and you don't want that for your business. So before us proceeding, I think we need to be on the same page on how AI actually works. So if you're a beginner, this is for you. But if you're an expert, you can just skip this part. How AI works is, as a user, you'll ask a question. That question will be taken in. The AI has been trained on tons and tons of data, on data that's in the internet, okay? And it needs to use the data it has on the internet to provide a relevant response to the user's question. So what will happen is, the question will come in, it will be compared against the tons and tons of data we have that the AI has been trained on, okay? Then it will pull back some chunks of data that seem quite similar to what the user has asked. So if the user asks a specific question on, let's say, where our business is located, it will check the data that we have. Is there any statement or words that seem quite similar to the question that they've asked? The point being semantically similar. So it will do a semantic search. And is there a statement or chunks of data that seem quite similar in meaning compared to the question that the user has asked? Those chunks of data will be brought in together with the question of the user. These two things will be sent to the AI system, and the AI system will use that to give back a response, a human-like response. Oh, and I forgot, not two things actually. It's actually three things that are sent to the AI. So we'll have the question of the user, the chunks of data to be used as context when providing the response, and finally is the prompt itself that guides the AI on how to give a response. Three things. And you can see if your prompt is wrong, or not wrong, but your prompt is not reliable and robust, then you can expect poor results. Now for AI phone callers, before I build any system prompt, I normally start with the basic boiler template that guides through everything. So you can see here, it has a role. So this tells the AI instructions on its role, the task at hand, specifics in regard to the actual task, some context, okay? And the context is context about the business and what the business does. So you're seeing there what we do. Then we give it some examples. This is an actual script of a back and forth conversation between the AI and the customer. So you can have one or two scripts that serve as examples. Then we have the final section, which is the notes. So this is where once you test the chatbot, not the chatbot, when you test the voice bot and you notice something is wrong, you come and tweak the system prompt in the notes section. Now on the role section, in the prompt, when you're giving the AI its role, you want to give it a role that best suits it to be able to handle the conversation. So you can see here, I give an example. If you want the AI to help you with math, tell it that it's an expert math teacher. If you want the AI to handle, let's say, to be an exceptional customer support agent, tell it you're a master at customer support, or you're an exceptional customer support agent, and the likes. Give the role all the nice qualities that will be advantageous for the model to give you better responses. So if it means giving it certain adjectives like you're enthusiastic, you're caring, such qualities help the AI to steer the conversation in the best route possible. So here's an example. You're a helpful and enthusiastic customer support agent of BigRip. Your role is to provide relevant responses to any customer queries and book them into an appointment. So the role section doesn't have to be huge. It just gives it what is the AI's role. Then over time, when you test your AI voice bot or your AI phone caller, you might realize that there's a way the AI is not handling the conversation well. Maybe it's not human-like, maybe it's not caring as much, maybe it's not as understanding. So you're able to come and go to the role and fine-tune it further so that it has the best qualities that will help it to guide the conversation better. Now, in regard to the task, here you tell the AI exactly what you need it to do, being descriptive as possible. So yes, you've told the AI its role is to book in appointments and provide relevant responses to customer queries, but now here you come and list down the tasks that is actually going to be handling during the call. And I'll show you an example after this. So in this task section, you can leverage what we call chain of thought prompting, especially for complex problems. So if you have a task that the AI needs to handle during the call, and that task needs the AI to think through it step by step, then give it step by step instructions, actually numbering it. So you can be like, number one, do this. Then after doing that, 2, do this. And this can be just for one specific task, okay? So the task is booking an appointment, but maybe before booking the appointment, it needs to capture certain information from the user, whether that's their name, their email address, their phone number, all these details. So you have to give it step by step. Number 1, ask for the customer's name. Then number 2, ask for their preferred time slot. Then ask for their email address. Then finally, go ahead and book in the appointment. So you can see here's an example of the task section of a specific voice bot I was building. Your task is to first give a personalized response to the message they've submitted from our website form. So in this case, this voice bot was automatically calling any lead that fills out our contact form. So this message that they sent through the contact form would be pulled in before the AI starts the conversation. So you can see you are then to request if you could obtain a few details to better understand their situation, then wait for their approval. You are then to ask the customer the following questions. Once they approve that you can proceed with asking your questions, then I give a list of the actual questions. These questions just help our back-end sales team with closing the deal. So if there are specific details that our sales team would need to have prior to the call with the customer, in order to increase the chances they close the deal, we ask those questions here. Then after obtaining all the responses, summarize it all into a single paragraph to be saved when booking the appointment. Do not dare read the summary back to the user. That's for our backend team. And this is an aspect called emotional prompting within AI prompt engineering. So emotional prompting is where you use statements like, this is extremely critical to the success of our business. This is a matter of life and death, and we really appreciate you taking your keen time to ensure you get everything right. It sounds weird you're talking to an AI system with emotions, but study has shown that this actually gets better results from the AI. So when you test your voice bot and you notice there's a specific aspect that it's not getting right, you test it again, you go and tell it in the prompt, ensure you do this and this. But when you test the voice bot, it still gets it wrong. Doing emotional prompting helps cover such a situation, ensuring that it no longer gets it wrong when you test it. So in this specific section, you add more details in regard to the task at hand. So if in your task section you gave it just a basic level on the tasks that it needs to handle, in the specific section you give it more details on the specifics of the task at hand. So you can see you can give numbered steps or a more detailed description for more complex tasks. So sometimes when you're building your bot, this specific section can be empty because maybe your task section has in detail provided the instructions on the task at hand. So this is up to you. You might decide to put all the specifics on the task within the task section, or if you want to have your prompt more readable, you can have the task section that just have a basic outline of the tasks that the AI will handle. Then in the specific section is where you give more details for each specific task. So you'll take, let's say, the first task, let's say task 1 that you've given in the task section. Then now you come in the specific section to break it down further. You can provide numbered steps to guide the AI. Then once you're done with that, you go now to task 2. So in the task section, you have the second task. You take it, then now you break it down within the specific section. For this task, in order for you to accomplish it, you need to do this, 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 and this. Okay? But as I've mentioned, sometimes you can find out that you've done all that within the task section. Then you find that you don't really need the specific section. So now in regard to context, this context section gives the AI context in regard to our business and what we deal in. You can include any awards or reputable things to mention about your business. So if your business won some award out there or was was featured in some great article out there, like, it's good to give this as context to the AI so that it can, if the customer asks something specific on the business, the AI knows how to handle that. So giving it this context helps the AI to know how to steer the conversation, because the reality, if it has more to know about your business, it knows how to steer the conversation better to align with your values, to align with your culture and the likes. So as you can see here, you can include your values here so that the AI steers the customer conversation with your values in mind. So if you guys are known for a brand that is caring, telling the AI that you guys are reputable and well known for being very customer centric and caring, it is able to steer the conversation appropriately. You can also give a general summary of what your business deals in. So your services in place. You guys deal in this, this, and this. You guys sell this specific product. You guys sell these specific services. You can give it in the context section. Now we go into the examples section. In this section, you give it an actual script of a back and forth conversation between the AI and the customer, so that it has a picture of how an actual conversation with each single client should typically go through. So you can see here's an example. So I've gone to one of the voice bots I've built on Vapi. It's an appointment booking bot. So you can see here in the examples section, we have a back and forth between the assistant, which is the AI, and the user. Okay, so the assistant will start with, "Hey Alex, this is Susan calling from Pro Marketers. How are you doing today?" The user is like, "I'm very well." Then it continues, just simulating an actual conversation, so that the AI knows if the user steers away from the actual script, that yes, I need to handle their concern, then steer it back to the actual script. And in this section is where you'll do what we call tool calling. So if there's a specific function that the AI needs to do during the call, whether it's saving the appointment details, whether it's booking in the actual appointment to our Google Calendar, all that, you'll do your function calling within the actual script here. So let me show you an example here. So the assistant says, "We can definitely help with that. Let's book you in for a meeting. When do you suggest?" Then the user is like, "Let's go with tomorrow at 10 a.m. Then here's where you say, "Run the booking function." And notice I say it in capital letters. This just tells the AI this is not part of the script. This is not someone saying run the booking function. It is you to know that you need to know now run the booking function. So that's the example section. Preferably have 1 or 2 scripts. I would suggest you to have 2 scripts, not more than 2, because your prompt will be very long, and this actually helps. This actually adds to your AI usage costs. Before going into the next section, I think it's critical for me to talk on what we call markdown formatting. So let me just go back to this section of prompt boiler template. You can see I'm using #role, #task, #specifics. Why am I using hashtags? This tells the AI, gives it a picture of what each section of the prompt is handling. And it's a reality. OpenAI actually trained their AI models on markdown formatting. It helps the AI know what each section is meant to handle. It knows that this section is giving me instruction on my role. It knows that this section is telling me instructions on the task at hand. It knows that this section gives me context on the business at hand. So markdown formatting is extremely critical. So ensure you be using it within your prompting. And notice here, when you see 1 hashtag, that is a title, okay? Then you see 2 hashtags, that is like a subtitle of the section. Title of the section. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is the example section is by far one of the most critical parts of the prompt, because you can give the AI all the instructions that you can give it, but if you can actually give it example, it actually gets a better picture on how it should steer the conversation. So examples. Always ensure you have examples. In AI phone callers, as I've mentioned, 1 or 2 scripts is good enough. Then in the notes section, when you test your voice bot and you notice that the AI is making mistakes somewhere, it's not handling the conversation appropriately, here's where you'll come back and tweak the prompt on. So you'll go to the notes section, give it more cautioning. So you'll add note after note after note based on mistakes you're noticing the AI is making. And over time of you building the voice bot and testing it again and again and again, this section becomes the biggest part of the prompt, because the reality with building AI phone callers or AI voice bots is you don't get it right off the gate. You'll build it the first time, it might be right and it seems like it's okay, but if you now continue testing it, assuming different customer personas, it will start making sense that it won't be getting it right. So you have to keep on going back to the notes section and continue cautioning it over time. And this is how you're able to build much more reliable AI systems over time. It's practically testing the voice bot, talking to it and noticing that here it gets it wrong, here it gets it wrong again and again, you go to the notes section of your system prompt and give it some cautioning. Then you test it, then you notice something is wrong, and you go back to the notes section. It's a process that you have to fine-tune over time and over time. So testing is extremely critical in order to build reliable AI phone systems over time. And the good thing is with the technology advancing more and more, we can have tools that help you automatically do this testing. So for example, a tool I can really recommend is called Hamming.ai. That is Hamming. What it does is it helps you to automate testing your voice bot. So it's practically an AI talking to your AI. Okay, you have your AI voice bot that you've built. You want to fasten the process of testing it. You could test it yourself, actually talking to it, to be able to know where it's messing it up. Then you give it feedback. But if you can have an AI call it en masse, you're able to do faster testing, building more reliable systems faster. So Hamming.ai will have an AI system call your AI voice bot, assuming different customer personas. This time it might call acting like an angry customer. Then next time it acts like an impatient customer. Or this time it calls acting like a caring and charming person. The point is to assume different personas, assuming different actual conversations, to be able to faster tell where is the AI messing it up. Then you use this as feedback to be able to fine-tune your system prompt. So you can see there, ensure you use Hamming.ai if you're able to pay for, to be able to get faster iterations over your voice bot. Then this section is what I normally call prompt seasoning. I normally like it because I paste it in whatever system prompt I built for whatever voice bot. Okay, I like making this joke. I just picture Salt Bay there, sprinkling in some seasoning into your prompt, making your conversations, your AI conversations more human-like, more conversational. So just think of this like salt that you're able to put in your food, but now instead of working with food, we are working with an AI system. And the AI system, you sprinkle in this specific paragraph. Let me show you. When generating responses, aim for a casual and conversational tone. Think of how you might talk to a friend in a relaxed setting. Use informal language and common colloquial expressions such as so, yeah, and okay. Avoid formal language and corporate jargon. English, there is not Englishing. Corporate jargon. Instead, focus on making the dialogue flow naturally, using contractions like you're instead of you are, and inserting filler words occasionally to mimic natural speech patterns. Strive to make responses sound warm and approachable, using everyday vocabulary and sentence structures. So you can copy this paragraph as is, then paste it in whatever system prompt you build. And I'll provide this slides link in the description so you can access this prompt seasoning. Ensure you use it, then come thank me later. It's really that powerful. So in conclusion, exceptional prompt engineering skills comes with time. You have to spend hours and hours actually trying to build reliable AI systems. Because the reality of the matter is, you would get it right off the gate. You will build the system prompt, test the voice bot, and it will keep on messing it up, making mistakes again and again and again. And I can be honest, it can be quite frustrating. But based on experience, I can tell you, this is how it's like sharpening the sword again and again and again. Sharpening your prompt engineering. Point is, strive to actually build reliable AI systems. Don't test it this time, and since this conversation when you handle with the AI, it's getting it right, you just stop at that. No, try testing it again, assuming a different persona. Try testing it again, assuming different client conversations and how they would go. Then actually try fixing the errors that it's encountering, actually fixing the mistakes that it's encountering, and not actually giving up, because the reality is it can be quite frustrating. Sometimes you'll tell it again and again, Mr. AI, I've told you again and again, can you do this? But it keeps on getting it wrong, and you feel like taking your laptop and smashing it into the wall and be like, you know what, AI wasn't my passion. I think dropshipping is really booming, or e-commerce, or I heard Bitcoin is going and booming. No, keep at it, knowing that this is how you sharpen the sword. This is how you sharpen your prompt engineering mastery, and it will really apply even when you're using these skills to get good results with ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot for your personal use. So stay savvy. Peace.